We wouldn't have access to it anyways because it's a land. Nice. Garruk in the house for the wolf block. Piling on these walkers. We take our opponent down to 1. And Fairy's just a distraction. Hey everybody, welcome back and thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we're playing with Sultai Walkers in Mythic rank. This deck is absolutely insane and has produced some of the most fun matches I've played within Zendikar Rising. So we're going to break down the deck, talk about the strategies, the synergies, all the cards, all that jazz, and then get into the gameplay footage, break down not only our play lines, but our sideboard decisions as well. So if you do find any value within the video, go ahead, give it a thumbs up, like the video, and of course, subscribe for more. We do use Keruga, the Macrosage, pardon my pronunciation here, as our companion. This is a 5/4. When it is our companion, we do have to follow the deck building rule, which is our deck can only contain cards with converted mana cost 3 or greater, and of course land cards. That fits great within most Walker decks because, you know, Planeswalkers are relatively expensive. I don't know, in Standard at least, the last time I seen a Planeswalker cost 2. And then, of course, whenever the Keruga will enter the battlefield, draw a card for each other permanent you control with converted mana cost 3 or greater, which is, of course, going to be every permanent that we have in the field that's non-land because of the deck building rule. There are no copies of this main board. This is the sole companion within the deck. Typically, you'll see, you know, 1 copy of Yorion as the companion and 3 main board. That's not the case here. So that's just a nice draw engine for us mid-game, late game. Into the bread and butter of the deck, 4 copies of Skyclave Relic, a 3-drop artifact, indestructible, kicker for 3. If you were to kick it, create 2 tapped tokens that are copies of it, so you'll have 3 copies of the Skyclave Relic if you kick it, and then of course you can tap them to add 1 mana of any color. This is really important within the deck for a few reasons. A, it's colorless ramp, which can survive an Ugin wipe. It's pretty beneficial. We can kick it with our own ramp to exponentially explode all over our opponents, and the adding 1 mana of any color is absolutely incredible when combined with our Titan's Nest for 4. We have 3 copies of this. It's an enchantment, and at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into your graveyard, so you just get to basically scry at the beginning of all of your turns. And then you can exile a card from your graveyard if you do add a colorless mana, and you can spend that only to cast a colored spell without X in its mana cost. So you can't mana dump into a big Hydra Krasis that's not even in Standard anymore. I don't know why I bring that up, but those big spells that you would typically dump all of your mana into. So that's going to disallow that, and it has to be colorless. So obviously no Stonecoil Serpents, no Ugins as well. So this is great for all of the other cards in our deck. We do run Ugin, of course. The Spirit Dragon, 7 loyalty. When he enters, +2, 3 damage to any target, -X. Exile each permanent with converted mana costs X or less. That's 1 or more colors. -10, you gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, then put 7 permanents from your hand into the battlefield. This is our ultimate Planeswalker within the deck. We've got lots more to get to, but that's one thing within the deck that your Titan's Nest will not be able to cast. And then going back to the Skyclave Relic, how it's really cool that it adds 1 mana of any color, because we can use the Skyclave Relic's 1 colored mana to fill our color requirements within our other Planeswalkers, and use the Titan's Nest to exile cards from our grave to fulfill the colorless mana requirements within the card. So for example, Teferi, Master of Time, our first 4-drop Planeswalker, 3 loyalty. When he enters, can activate his abilities on your turn and your opponent's turn at instant speed, and you can +1 to draw a card, discard a card, -3, target creature you don't control phases out, and -10, take 2 extra turns after this one. So if you do have the Relic in play and Nest, you can exile 2 cards from your grave, tap the Relic for a blue, and then you only need 1 blue source to throw Teferi into play. So you can basically reduce the cost of all of your Planeswalkers quite substantially, at least cutting them in half, which is very, very good value. You know, we're in a rogue-based mill meta. Rune Crab is still all over the place, so you know, Titan's Nest works very, very good just in general within the current meta. We also have Liliana, Waker of the Dead. This is another 4-drop Planeswalker coming in with a +1 of you know, each player discards a card. Each opponent who can't loses 3 life, so you will have to discard. If you can't, you won't lose life. -3, target creature gets -X until end of turn, where X is the number of cards in your graveyard. You know, this works, you know, kind of in conjunction with Titan's Nest because you're able to fill your graveyard at an increased rate at the beginning of your upkeep with Titan's Nest, but also on the other hand, it kind of lacks synergy because Titan's Nest will be actively exiling cards from your grave, which will reduce the effectiveness of Liliana's -3. So, you know, be aware of this. And -7, you get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn, put a creature card from your graveyard into the battlefield under your control, and it gains haste, which brings us back to the Titan's Nest when we are exiling permanents from our grave. Let's try to do the creatures last. So if we do get Liliana's ultimate out, that way we can you know, still take advantage of those few creatures that ended up in our grave. And you know, the only creature that actually can end up in our grave is Keruga and Murderous Rider. Of course, Murderous Rider does have to be either discarded or milled or countered into our grave. If it gets destroyed, it goes back to our library. With that all out of the way, you know, we do have a couple other Planeswalkers within the deck. Ashiok, Nightmare's Muse, comes in with 5 loyalty +1, create a 2/3 black and blue Nightmare creature token, and whenever it attacks or blocks, opponent exiles the top 2 cards of their library. -3, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then that player exiles a card from their hand. This is absolutely amazing on tokens because the token can't go to their hand and they still have to exile. So it's like you dealt with 2 things with 1 ability, which is great. And then -7, you may cast up to 3 spells from among face-up cards your opponents own from exile without paying their mana cost. The +1, 2 3s, you know, get those cards into exile, and then the -7 can take a few of them and play them. 2 copies of Garruk the Cursed Huntsman, also coming out for 5, 6 loyalty, 0 ability, creating 2/2 black and green wolf creature tokens, and when they die, they'll add a loyalty to each Garruk we control. We get a -3 to destroy target creature, drawing a card as well. -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control, get +3/+3 and have trample. You know, the only creatures that will get that are the wolves, basically the Rider, Keruga, so that's not really your main get. The -3, destroy target creature, draw a card is cool, and then obviously the 0 ability to get those defenders. So if your opponent has haste, you know, if they can get some attacks in on your Planeswalkers, the wolves can chump block them, which will just increase your Garruk. As far as the rest of the deck goes, we have 2 copies of Midnight Clock. We can tap it to add a blue to our pool. It obviously does cost 3 as an artifact when it enters, so you can tap it immediately. We can also pay 3 to add a counter to it. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, another counter is added, and then whenever there's 12 counters, you get to shuffle your hand and graveyard into your library, drawing 7 cards. So that's quite nice. Talking about Dimir Rogues and all the mill that's going on, Midnight Clock's a great protection from that. Bala Ged Recovery, sorcery speed for 3, returning target card from your graveyard to your hand. You know, it's great to grab an Ugin, it's great to grab a Keruga maybe, potentially even more removal if you need it, and yeah, just whatever you need to get, you can do it with the recovery. And if you don't have the land off the start, it can come and tap to add a green to your pool. Into our removal, we talked about Murderous Rider. You know, we've got 4 copies of this, 2/3 with lifelink. When it dies, it goes to the bottom of our library. We can reshuffle our library a couple different ways. One of them is our Fabled Passage. We also have Swift End for 3 at instant speed as the adventurer, destroying target creature or planeswalker with converted, the converted mana cost doesn't matter, and then we will lose 2 life through the interaction, which doesn't really matter because the rider has a life gain. On the keynote of removal, we have 3 copies of Extinction Event, sorcery speed, choosing odd or even, then exiling all of the chosen converted mana cost. Shadow's Verdict for 5, sorcery speed, exile all creatures and all planeswalkers with converted mana cost 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creatures and planeswalker cards with converted mana cost 3 or less as well from all graveyards. You know, talking about rogues, how they're annoying, this takes care of all the rogues, plus it drains the graveyard, which is great. Finally, and certainly not least, we come into the bread and butter, which is Shark Typhoon. I believe we have 3 copies of this. It's a 6-drop enchantment, and whenever we cast a non-creature spell, create a XX blue shark creature token where X is that spell's converted mana cost, cycling for 2 + X, and when we do cycle it, create an XX shark with flying as well. So this is really cool. Typically, I'll play this as the enchantment if I know there's no removal. If I smell removal even, I won't, and I'll just use the Shark, which is really good. I call this the Ugin killer because Ugin comes out, does a big minus, and then you get Shark in at instant speed to kill it, which is quite nice. And then the rest of the deck consists of 2 islands, 1 Castle Locthwain, 4 swamps, 2 forests, 4 Clearwater Pathways, Temple of Deceit, Temple of Malady, Temple of Mystery, Zagoth Triumph, and the Fabled Passages. We are playing traditional today, so we've got the sideboard incorporated. 2 Zerasan, the Tricksters. You know, as far as I'm concerned, just having the flash attacker is great, and then, you know, if they have wipes, then you can flash this in after the wipe, get the attacker, pull something from their grave. You know, that's just classic value. You don't really have to use the ability. You can just flash it in after the wipe. Kavartek the Spiteful. Other creatures get -1/-1, 3/2. You know, this is just great against any token decks or, you know, any small low to the ground aggro decks. Pestilent Haze, again for aggro control, sorcery speed for 3. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Remove 2 loyalty counters from each planeswalker. So, you know, if you come in against a mirror match, potentially, but, you know, most likely you'll just be killing all the creatures. Speaking of killing creatures, Elspeth's Nightmare, an enchantment saga. When it enters, destroy target creature and your opponent controls with power 2 or less. Second up, you get into their hand and have them discard a non-creature, non-land. And then finally, you exile their graveyard. 4 copies of Mystical Dispute for 3, 2 less to cast if it targets a blue spell, and then counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. So, you know, that's the sideboard. We do break down the sideboard plays when we go through the matches. You guys are going to get a good idea of how we do that. The general deck strategy is to survive, make the game last as long as you can. Utilize Titan's Nest to get your planeswalkers out at a reduced cost, and of course just pile on the value and smash them into oblivion. So again, thanks for your time and attention. I really support thank you for your time and attention. I really I can't even think of the word right now. Appreciate, LOL. You spending it here with me, showing your support, LOL. If you want to go above and beyond, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content and support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and Amazon. If you can, we also have you know, exclusive content for our YouTube members, so get in on that. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay footage I have for you today. This was some of the most fun I've had in a long time, and I'm really looking forward to playing Sultai Walkers a lot more within the current meta. So take care, enjoy, and we'll see you soon with our wrap-up thoughts. All right, we're gonna play first Sultai Walkers. You treat us right. Hey, maybe it's rogues. Titan Nest, at the beginning of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. You may put that card into the graveyard. We also get to exile cards from our graveyard to add a mana of colorless origin, spending that only to cast colored spells without X and its cost. So you do still have to have the colored mana, but you can reduce, you know, Shark Typhoon by 5 potentially, which is like, okay. Land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. I'm not sure we need so many lands quite yet. I'd rather grab some form of removal. We have Murderous Rider, Extinction Event, Shadow's Verdict. They're playing slow. Let's just get after that. I do not mind this relic. It looks to be Rakdos, so we're going to want removal. We already have a relic, so let's toss it for now. Even though I like it and it's a good card, I'm not sure it warrants the draw, right? We probably want some form of removal. This will always come in slow, which is less than ideal for us. It's relic in play. I mean, if we can get the Typhoon out, ask the Typhoon, and him not have an answer for it, we're in good shape. The thing is that, you know, they are running Ugin, and Ugin can minus. You kill it. So that's unpleasant. I'm gonna sneak this Locthwain in now, and then Titan's Nest can come in. It's an easy exile for them. Again, it can potentially help us ramp into the Shark Typhoon. And if we can assault with sharks before they drop Ugin for 8, we'll be okay. Paying life for 4. So we get to look at the top card of our library. That's going to go to the graveyard, and we'll spend it as mana. This will be another mana through the passage. So I will go with Shark Typhoon, and we're going to risk it. Submit 1. Submit 2. Gives us 2 mana. I mean, you know, we don't have anything to spend it on. So we could have actually left those in there in case we pulled a Planeswalker. These are both enchantments. Shredded Sails. Can't get the relic either because it has indestructible. They have 5. They can spend 4 on the Ironcrag Feat. Have 1 left over, cast Ugin, minus on everything. But if they don't have it, then we're in a much better position. Bone Crusher Giant just to our face, and then it as the body. Not bad. Graveyard with the nest. The Verdict can scoop that up really nicely. I'm just not even sure we need to. We're sitting on 5, 6 in the grave. This would be 7. Still not enough. But we can just create a decent sized shark. I think that's what's most beneficial here. Oh, the shark hits first. Oh! That's fine. Still the Ugin we're worried about. Getting to go through our library at twice the speed with the nest is super, super helpful. Okay, Teferi's great. Shark's awesome. Up, up, and away, the land can go.
Think fast.
Let's get Keruga into hand, and that's going to be a really nice draw. Have we not played Passage? I thought we played a land already. Interesting. Alright, Scorching Dragonfire down to 1.
Too long there.
Taking the draw with the Tome. Gaining 4 life to 21. Cycling the Shredded Sails. So we will get to plus Teferi again. Oof. Nice. We're gonna take it anyways. Toss the land here. It's a good play.
Back's gonna hurt tomorrow.
Let's take our turn. Library. And we're gonna get right after that, so Titan's Nest, Titan's Nest. Oh, it's never mind. We can still do this. Actually, no, we won't do it at all. Can we Zed that? Can we Zed this? No. Basically have to go for it. Okay. I forgot that Ugin was colorless. Now we can hold up the Rider, play our clock, and then use Ugin as the insurance policy. We could have cast it with cracking the passage, but I'd rather cast the second Ugin. We lose Shark Typhoon. I'm gonna keep Murderous Rider. Just take the hit on the chin. And then we can just plus our Ugin instead of minusing it.
I did all I deemed appropriate.
Oh, the Baron's is gonna come for a swing. It only hits for 2, which is fine. We'll have a Rider for it next turn. Oh, it goes up to 4 because they played a land. Nice. That's their whole turn though. And we go up by 2, so it's like it only really hits us for 2. Not that bad. Let's take the shuffle here.
Muscle cannot overcome mind.
Let's plus up.
Not ignore my draconic talent.
Midnight Clock is fine. Pass our turn. And we're gonna Murderous Ride this Crawling Barrens. Only after they sink all of their mana into it, taking it to an 8/8. Nice. Another land. Go to blockers. They spend their mana. And we snag it. That's a good play. So they've spent 2 turns only trying to deal with the Barons. Okay, but they're just dealing 1 damage to... Okay, sure. We can sink our remaining mana into the Midnight Clock. Let's take our shuffle, playing our 1 of 4 remaining swamps, 3 remaining swamps. Ashiok's great. Do they have another Ugin just sitting there? I don't know. Let's try to go for it. We can sink some more mana into a Midnight Clock. We have Extinction Events that are absolutely worthless in this matchup. So looking forward, we're playing Mono Red Control. You know, the events should go. Gross. An event. That's nice. And we'll take... maybe the Disputes, probably. 2 Storm's Wraths. That's incredible. I'm going to keep that Shark in hand. Right, we're just going to make a big Shark. We've got 10 mana available, so it is an 8/8 Shark. Hits them in 2. This is a good match. These events are useless. We have the draw through our Locthwain. Midnight Clock also is probably a more efficient way to draw. That way we're not losing life, and instead of drawing 1, we draw 7. Alright, Ugin in play. It doesn't matter what it does. The -3, that's fine. That's a big old shark, baby. And a good read by us for not playing it. So let's kill their second Ugin.
My research has concluded.
And we're still trying to go for it. We have the draw through the Locthwain here. A double Bone Crusher? Spike Field Hazard? Okay. Sure. Okay. I would have kept that in hand to discard later. Oh! Never mind. It all makes sense now. Decent. This isn't odd, which is good for us. We can finally use this event. They could re-ox if they don't like the hand they got. Nice. We're definitely going to use an event then, right? Take out both of these oxes and hit for 8. Woo!
This is my fate.
They're looking for their Ugins. Let's look for ours. Oh, Rider's not bad. Let's hit for odds. Hit for 8. Block in play, we still have our Rider available. What?
Always consider the consequences of freedom.
You dirty dog. Alright, I'll take one of those. Give me an Ugin. That's got to be their 4th. 2 in the grave, 1 in exile. Did they run 4 of them? We get ours, which is exactly what we were asking for. Thank you. And let's kill this giant. Rider in play. We're down to 27. We're at 27 as well, so really getting through our libraries here. A couple control decks facing off. Nice. Crawling Barrens is active. Solemn Simulacrum. Can get exiled. It's annoying and I hate it. Teferi's good, it can protect Ugin. And take this by exiling events. I don't want to give them the draw. Hopefully it's not good. Nice, just a land. Whew. Alright, these Crawling Barrens can deal a lot of damage here. They have to use 2 of them because of Teferi's minus. Let's just phase that out. We wouldn't have access to it anyways because it's a land. Nice. Garruk in the house for the wolf block. Piling on these walkers.
Hunt begins. You're not scared of dogs.
We take our opponent down to 1. And Fairy's just a distraction. They're getting that second Baron's ready. We lose our Rider, which sucks. Ah! End our turn. We're sitting on 5 mana total. So we do have a draw here. They're taking their draw, desperately searching for an Ugin, but we just have the plus on them through our Ugin. I kind of want to ult the Ugin, but I don't think we'll get there. I'm sure there's some damage in hand. All right, first loyalty counter on Garruk. 1 Baron's in play. They have enough for the second as well. We got 2 6/6s coming our way. Oh, sorry, a 6/6 and a 4/4. This has been a great match. I've had just a wonderful time here. They're totally tapped. And we have good game. So let's take our draw. Lands, then we can Teferi plus. If we get something good, we'll discard this land here. Boom, Titan's Nest stays. Land goes. Block the 6/6, keep Garruk alive. Teferi will, you know, hit the benches. I want to do it so bad. But we won't. We'll just plus. Right, we got into a very nice position here. And there's so many things there that I want to do. But we'll just be respectful. Mono red control. Now we kind of talked about our sideboard while we were playing. Maybe the disputes can stop at Teferi. Or, sorry, not at Teferi. You know, the annoying planeswalker with 8. Ugin. Ugin Blue Eyes Dragon. Right? Something like this. So it's not a blue spell, but we could still counter it. And the Extinction Events actually did come in handy. Hitting these Oxes. Hitting the Giants, hitting the Simulacrums. So it's like, I don't know if it's worth it to switch out our guaranteed removal for potential Ugin. Even Shadow's Verdict could have gone, I think. If we lose this one, we'll take Shadow Verdict out. It hits a couple things, but if we can ramp into Ugin, maybe a bad hand to keep. I don't know. We need some black sources here. Robert for the immediate draw off the top. That's going to be a good game. All right, more land. That's good. Hopefully they go aggro and our Shadow Verdict actually helps us. Oh, Rider's not good. I bet they just play it. That poor computer's so loud. Keruga into our hands, and we discard a Verdict. Right, we don't have the double black source. And these are odd and even, so that's awkward as well. Taking our rider's great. This is gonna help, you know, get our Ashiok out. Cast this Verdict. Down to 12 already though, going down to 8. You know, potentially 4. Hopefully they don't Barons. I'm the owner of this card, correct? Oh, maybe we just do use the Verdict. Oh no, we still need the double black is the thing. Let's see. So I kind of want a plus, but I also kind of want a minus on the rider, just to bring it back to us.
There is little as exquisite as the artistry of torment.
And then they still have to discard. Oh no, we discard. Alright, we still don't have any drop on the Verdict. I guess that makes sense, we're the owner.
Fade into the shadows.
Yeah, I think we're still just dead. We should have went with the blocker, but that's fine. Early removal, plus we can get the Ugin out of their hand. Let's get rid of our Verdict. Too expensive. I do feel like they are trying to play a more aggro variant here. But now we're on the play, so they might drop that. Have removal. Hopefully we can take use of this Liliana. We don't have a 3-drop, so I'm going to bring this in tapped. And that guarantees that we can drop a Liliana next turn. Let's pass. We need some cards in our graveyard. Still taking our 2 damage, but getting that out and about. Simulacrum's really good. Let's just kind of try to grab some life back. I don't doubt that they have removal. 2 Simulacrums definitely warrants an even event. We need in their hand. They did abandon aggro and they're back to control. No draws. Let's grab some life back. We're at 6. They're at 7. They drop to 8 here. They play Ugin, we lose. No, they're just taking the draw. We have 1, so that leaves us with 3, 4 total. 1, 2. Oh, we have to tap it for this, I see. I think Teferi can start in and about. Discard our first Titan's Nest for us.
If I don't have a plan, I'll just make one up. Time to improvise.
We can drop Garruk, that's great. Keruga in play. No attacks. Let's keep the Rider to defend. Trying to keep it slow, play it smart. Do our best. Right? They're drawing here again, main phase. This is good for us. They're really digging for Ugano. 6 mana available. They could kill the Rider for 2. And Barons for 4, but it doesn't come in play. They're just killing Teferi here. Oh, no way.
Must have missed something.
We're gonna cycle this. Try to pull a land for Ugin. And we get the Shark to bash in with, right? It's gonna be a 5/5. You know, I want to play Titan's Nest, but at the end of the day, it's just gonna get exiled. There it is. But it can plus. Now that's what's really annoying. Shit. We have to draw land. Shoot. It's not a land. We definitely need a land here. And even then we're in trouble. Fuck. Ugin's been minused already, so the nest is kind of safe. We should have took our shark damage right to our opponent and just gone aggro. This is gonna get exiled anyway, so it doesn't much matter, but... Right, because they're gonna -3. Or -4. But if we can have them -4, that opens up Ugin's plus on, you know, this other Ugin. So if we can force this Ugin to minus to wipe our field, that's our only way out of this. So we do have to kind of engineer that to be their best bet, or like where they're looking to get the most value out of their turn. So here's the -3. They didn't -4 because they didn't want to kill it. That makes our job even easier. Only 3 cards in hand, so they have to play again if they want the robber draw off our top, which is really good for them because we've got massive amounts of planeswalkers. But they're going to hit us for 6 instead. That's fine with me. Their graveyard's still relatively empty. Graveyard for sure. Ugano in play. You know, we do have to watch out for these Barons. But what else do we do? I guess we should have pushed Garruk. Right? Because we're still gonna die. You have to get rid of that Ugin though. We need another, so land can go. I want to take this Keruga draw while we still have permanents in play. So we're getting hit for 2, 6. Yeah, we're dead. But that spends their mana. Crawling Barons is the real hero. Crawling Barons is such a sleeper. Oof, they're going big. Do they think they just hit us for 10? That might be the best option. No, just hit us for 2. Smart. Lethal next turn.
I learned much today.
The Rider can save us.
I'll be even more powerful next time.
Dropping the reduce of our Garruk here.
That's gonna hurt tomorrow.
You've got a good head on those shoulders. For now.
Let's grab some wolves.
We were born for
And we could cast this for... Sorry, we have 6, 7. I need 3, which takes us down to 4. 1 would be 5, correct? One, 2, 3. That goes to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take our draw. We still have Rider open. Temple of Mystery takes the scry for next turn. A little late, Mystical Dispute. To the bottom. And we pass. We do have this Rider open. As long as there's, you know, not another Ugin. Sometimes you just have to expect it. So when these wolves die, we get loyalty counters. So we go back up to 3. But we have no blockers here. Awkward. It's a pretty intense game, that's for sure. we're already at 40 minutes, right? For one match of Magic. That's the kind of games I absolutely love. Okay, Phoenix of Ash can kill.
Have greater matters to attend.
Let's kill it. They take their draw. All right, this Baron's is absolutely lethal. But, you know, we want to keep this Garruk around, and maybe the Chump Walkers keep us alive. Graveyard, we already have one.
We are the apex predators.
So they need to 100% Ugin.
Your fears are given form.
We have some basic lands to pull still. So let's go ahead and do that. And then we can cycle this. No Ugin. Fingers crossed, you guys, right? No Ugin. We've seen enough in the first game. We don't need to see any more of them. There are 36 cards. How do they not have one? We've got a full field. Are you serious? They're killing both of our planeswalkers. Spends all their mana though.
I've got better friends.
Now Robert in play, which can't attack. Let's cycle this. That's gonna be their turn. Murderous Rider. Okay. Graveyard, obviously. Extinction Event. Let's get after it. We got 2 creatures off the top. Interesting. Too bad they're not 2 Ugins. And they trade with the wolf. Wow. Before their attack phase, we can Rider. Oh, I forgot about the Crawling Barons. Oops. Okay, Ox enters. Simulacrum in play. Oh, this is making me upset. It's not what we wanted to happen. We kill the odds so we can Extinction Event the evens. Right, we do that before the attack phase, so the robber doesn't get the draw. Spike Field Hazard to our face, you dog. But they still get it. Nice, that would have been our draw. That would have been so good. That has to go to the grave. To Fairy. Oh, we got an Ugin off the top. Nice. We still hit for a decent amount. Down to 6, you guys. This has already been used, correct? Yeah, so let's get that out for sure. Teferi can stop the Barons.
My skills are aged to perfection.
Deep breaths, you guys. End our turn. We have a Rider, and we have Teferi's Minus. Okay, here's a Bone Crusher Giant that doesn't go to our face. Interesting. So they're focused on staying alive now. This is as close as it gets. Another Barons, which has been the MVP for them. Most valuable planes. Woo! They're at 6, we're at 9. I think we won game number 1. They smashed us in game number 2, and game number 3's really, really close. They're just exiling, going for that draw. They're like, we are gonna pull an Ugin with these 3 cards. So because they did that first, if the robber attacks, it won't get a draw. Unless they play them here. Again, they've got so much mana that is absolutely disgusting. Alright, Barons in play. Not good. Let's see these attacks first. That seems relatively easy for me. They can drop the Planeswalker that they pulled with the robber on us, which is so sad. We go to 11. Barry dies.
My past is catching up to me.
So they cannot play our Planeswalker, which is nice, unless they drop a land. Just the Bone Crusher Giant. Ugin off the top. Come on, we need an Ugin off the top, you guys. Graveyard. Land is bad. Let's go for it. 2 Storm's Wraths off the top. Hoping to get an Ugin there, but that's fine. So that's the appropriate way to block. Us gaining the life is nice. Reducing the cost here. More. I'll leave it. I don't think we play too much from our grave, just Bala Ged. And now we hit odds. Now we Ashiok. They've got multiple Barons, which is really bad. So we're still in just a terrible position because of all of these crawling Barons, but we can try our best. I mean, they're in a bad spot too. Down to 4 lives, not good. Nice. Oh god, we're almost dead here. Right? We're so screwed. I don't know what saves us. That's the closest game of Magic I've ever played. Oh, we don't have enough anyways. Isn't that the closest match you guys have ever seen? That was one hell of a game of Magic. Wow. I'm not even upset. Crawling Barrens is just the world's greatest card. Woo! Hit our Ugin. And then we'll top deck another to kill you. They could go above and beyond, and you know, we're down to what, -11 here, so that is an incredible game. A 50-minute match, back and forth countless times. Alrighty, how is that for a match? That was like a 50-minute match that we almost won. Oh my god, what a life to have lived. That's probably without a doubt the best match of Magic I've played in Zendikar, right? I love control matches. Like, control versus control is so good. Like, all of the different decisions you get to make, and it's not like, oh, I win, I lose, flip the coin. It's like, it goes back and forth. It's like, I'm winning, oh shit, I'm losing, now I'm winning again. And this can just flip back and forth like an unlimited amount of times, as you've seen within the gameplay footage. So again, thank you for your time and attention, guys. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, and our Amazon link. Exclusive content for our supporters, primarily on YouTube. So check that out, you guys. And of course, we're doing code giveaways on all of our YouTube premieres. So if you're looking for some free codes for Arena, get in on that. You know, everything from 1,000 gems to individual card rewards. And 500k gem giveaway in the Discord, free cash prize tournaments, blah, 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 blah. You guys know the deal. If you're here till now, you may as well go watch yourself another video, and we'll talk to you again soon.